Bungie has mysteriously banned the staff members from the macro server that was giving everyone the exotic class item macro that became extremely popular over the last few months. In today's news story, we're going to break down all of the information that we have at this time, and we're going to talk about how Bungie may potentially be updating their terms of service very soon. So this news comes to us from Ritzcar on Twitter here, where he tweets out saying, "This is such a strange precedent to set," and he shares a screenshot here from a 2016 Toyota Corolla is their name, and it says, "Every staff member from the macro server and me, 6 people in total, got banned. Literally targeted ban wave, LOL, definitely manual. Half the people haven't even played in over 2 weeks or haven't even used the AFKs," which is definitely interesting. So what they're insinuating is that the staff members of the macro Discord were targeted for a ban wave from Bungie, supposedly, or at least allegedly here, because of the macros that they're introducing into the game. Now, this is obviously some crazy news if this turns out to be true. We don't exactly have any sort of official statement from Bungie here or any sort of, Bungie representative at this point in time. But if this is the case, then that means Bungie is going to start cracking down on those that use these macros, and it's pretty wild that they're going to do so in this manner, where they first ban and then explain afterwards rather than give people a kind of a warning. Because if you don't know right now, in Destiny 2, people have been using macros for many, many years. They've been sitting AFK in thrallways in dungeons, AFK inside King's Fall, and countless encounters. For years and years and years, this has gone on. This has become relatively common practice. I know a lot of you console players out there are shaking your fists at the screen saying, "Hey, we can't macro," and screw you PC folk over there using those macros all the time to farm things in the game. And don't get me wrong, it's definitely not the right way to play Destiny 2, but Bungie has never pursued bans or explicitly banned anyone for using macros in this manner. They said that they would only do so if you use some in a way to gain some sort of unfair advantage in the game and PvP, stuff of that nature. And so basically the way it worked historically, right, is that people slowly started to use macros maybe 4+ years ago, and as they started to realize that they never got banned for it, the word spread quickly and everyone was like, "Hey, we can use macros, Bungie doesn't ban for it." Eventually content creators started making videos talking about macros and making tweets talking about macros, and basically it's widespread now to such a point where everyone knows about macros and uses them, especially on PC. Now, I know, again, console folks out there, you're like, this guy right now. I know you're holding back the punches, but don't punch me. I'm not the one that invented macros or using macros in Destiny 2. It just became very common practice. And so, obviously, when the exotic class item issue came up where people couldn't get the exact role they wanted of it, there's 64 different roles of the exotic class item per each character, Titan, Hunter, and Warlock. So that makes over almost 200 different roles to get, and the RNG is incredibly terrible in dual Destiny. And so people obviously led to creating macros that could wander you around the Pale Heart and allow you to pick up chests over and over again. That way you could finally collect the exotic class items that you want. Obviously Bungie is addressing this, and they're adding some changes to, they created, the ability to have 2 exotic class items drop per character each week. And then on top of that, they're adding an option where you can buy them from Xur. And clearly they have never put out a message saying that they're banning macros in this, but what they did is they actually lowered the drop chance of the exotic class item to drop from the Pale Heart, which is a direct approach to reducing the efficiency and the effect of using these macros. But notice that they said that they were lowering the drop chance of these macros from these chests, rather than outright saying, "Hey, don't use macros in Destiny 2, or we're going to ban you." So that's a pretty crazy story. If we do get an update from Bungie here in the next few days in an article or in the TWID, I wouldn't be too surprised if they try to crack down and take a little more strict approach for people using macros in Destiny 2. But I definitely think if this is actually the way the situation went, that's pretty crazy that they got banned for that, because really so many other people could get banned. Many other people have talked openly about using macros, myself included, and it's not because I like using macros by any means. It's just I got so frustrated with farming dual Destiny, I was like, hey, maybe I will try this macro thing, Myself, several other content creators, Leopard included. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to name drop everyone out there that's used the exotic macro, but many people have talked about this publicly, and to go through and basically try to ban everyone would be insane, especially at a time when Destiny sentiment is already pretty low. And another point that a lot of people mentioned is that, these individuals, if they were banned for this reason, were never actually given like a warning like others have. Like obviously Leopard here was using a NordVPN here and using network manipulation, and in the process the Destiny 2 team actually gave him a warning, so that way he wouldn't do this anymore or publicly, and that way others as well wouldn't follow in footsteps. Instead of just outright giving him no second chances or just straight up banning him, they gave him a warning, which was pretty nice. And I think a lot of the individuals from this particular Discord server, the macro server, would have appreciated a warning or an update to the terms of service rather than just being banned. Again, if that is the reason why, right? So right now, this is the reason that they're purporting to us why these 6 individuals got banned. It could be for some other reason. We don't entirely know, but that's the reason that we're given at this point in time. I'm assuming that this is the truth. However, with time, we'll have more information. We'll find out what goes on. So just as a disclaimer to anyone out there, if you're using macros, you know, be careful, because purportedly people are getting banned for using these now, and Bungie might be cracking down on it and updating the terms of service soon here. But I want to give you this news story, and so let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, we're here to cover everything that happens in Destiny 2. That's why you're subscribed to the channel with notifications on, because as soon as a news story drops, we're bringing you a video talking about it. And the only reason why I was a little late on this one was because I was at GCX. And if I saw you at GCX, it's like a Destiny 2 in real life convention, and it's they raise money for charity every year. If I saw you there, it was fun seeing you. Appreciate meeting all the people from the community, and I'll see you back there again next year when they run GCX. And that's a wrap on the news story. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Later.